Okay. Yeah. So, and then that title, under that title, the root text is say, when you see your teacher and preceptor reverently generate the wish to serve, toward wish being with the Dharma eyes, and toward a beginner on the path as well, recognize them as your spiritual teacher. In fact, when you see any sentient being, view that one as your parents, your child, or your grandchild. So most of them we finish. So the main 2 point, right? The cultivating through honor to another way to say to your guidance or your the spiritual friends, and then this mood of seeing of other sentient beings. That's two things. So, but still, I'm going to a little bit talks on the cultivating to honors, like the people who you relying on in your life or everything. It's not just talk about the materialistic relying, right? It's relying that the guide your life be more meaningful. This is here. Okay. Um, okay. This is the nut line. There are preceptors and a master and father mothers. Okay, so let me read from here. They already described the person, either you say teacher or your guidance or your Dharma friends, whoever should be some kind of qualified. They already described the what quality needed, right? So additionally, I like to add here from the other Kadamba masters saying, right? So this is Atisha and his disciple Dromdambas talking, but Dromdamba sometimes his other Kadamba master says spiritual mentor Telumba saying the who you should rely on, right? Yes, qualified, that's true. The qualified we so far we counted like knowledgeable and then also well disciplined, and then also the kindness. These three quality needed. So um, also it says that if you aspire for liberation from your heart, follow after this discipline rather than the learn, right? So the follow after the discipline rather than the learn. It's not saying that you shouldn't follow the learn one. Of course, yes, but within these two, discipline is most important. You first check it how their behaviors, how they uh, the practice of morality, right? This is first, and plus, if you found the learn one, the great. So otherwise, it's the after follow after the discipline rather than the learn. So just learn and then who not disciplined, it's not really helpful. It should give you some information to your life, to how to be a meaningful and move forward into positive. But it's not really gives you perfectly instruction, right? So the perfectly instruction is more gives you through by their own discipline, their own behaviors, right? So sometimes behaviors teach more than the verbals words. Um, it's the behaviors touch directly to hearts, whether you knows clear or not, but the word is not that much. So sometime I'm not quoted here. But what I remember is some other Kadama master said the one good behavior is better than 100 words, right? So when I talk this, always I remember the Rinpoche. Good morning. Yeah. So Rinpoche. So I learned. Yeah, of course, I received a lot of teaching from him, but the like inner things, the inner quality, I learned more from his behaviors. So not that much talking, but what he doing it is perfect teaching. So how to be more humbleness, how to be more kind to others, and how to be harmonious with others. All this he most talks to me through by his behaviors. That's wonderful. Therefore, he's saying this: follow the discipline rather than learn, and then continues here: follow after the practitioner rather than the preacher. Right? So yes, within these two, the practitioner is more important, um, because if people who talks a lot never does practice, and then one day we see it, right? So and then everything what the people talks is not valued, because talks as like a tape recording, just uh, so play the recorder and then say it. Nothing to do with their brand and their behaviors, right? So that's the saying, practitioner rather than the preacher. And then say follow after the humble rather than the high, right? So of course, this actually talks to us. We are thinking the higher positions, higher names are better, and they are knowing better or benefiting better. Bill, good morning. So that's the usually we think it, right? Um, um, but it's not always necessary that way, right? Um, Look at the other ways. Say, is necessary richest people donate more? Not necessary, right? So therefore, higher rankers or more knowledgeable or benefiting more. It's not necessary. So therefore, it says that you should follow after the humble rather than the high. But we will not notice that much the who is humble but very qualified. Because of humbleness, we will not see their quality, right? So, but the higher, even they don't have a quality, we follow it, we chase them, because it's very what called the very openly says that the higher is, or say, not well known by public, right? So well known by public, therefore easily can see it. Oh, this is something special. But we are very difficult to see the quality of whose humbleness. So therefore, more investigate through by the humbleness rather than highest. So if the highest no humbleness, then you should more examine it or investigate whether you follow or not follow. But who you see the humbleness, even not that much educated, you can follow it. So that's a saying, the follow after the humbleness rather than high. Follow after the friends with the faith rather than friends with the intelligence. So the friends with the intelligence, yes, it's give us a lot of information, or it's help us to the grow our knowledge. But right now we're talking here the the changing life and towarding positive or becoming kindness, right? That's we're talking it here. That's the quality we needed for having meaningful life. Therefore, it's better to follow the faithful one rather than intelligence. Okay, these are the additionally uh, on this chapter. This chapter only towards the three quality who you should rely on, right? And then I important to think this is most important to know that who you should rely on, right? And let me repeat again. You should more rely who discipline rather than learn. You should more rely to practitioner rather than preacher. You should more rely on humbleness rather than higher. Or you should more rely on a friend with the faith rather than with the intelligence, right? So this is I think it's good to know, right? But again, whatever we talk here, in a day by day, if you're not mindfulness, you will follow as normally, or your life or time will be spent as a normally, right? So normal nature is, we know so far until today, we just pass our time that way, never change it. But you really change that mindfulness, it's not enough to knowing those things, right? These are very what called important, and also makes us easy to know, because we don't have to now what called research who I should follow, because he's give us exactly the guidance. Now we knows this easily, but the follow to this line or this practice is typical. So therefore, what we need to do is save our times to knowing it, because of easily tell us everything, all these details, but should take time more for practice to do this, right? Okay. Good morning. Father, can you remind myself into that divinity? Okay. Let me find it. That's the last line of this, how to be honored to, how to respect to the guidance or teacher. The last line I want to read it, then move to the next. My parents are suffering, okay, not this one. How can be this drum? Even look, my parents who are delusional, or not this one. Source of the Buddha is born in Bible. Okay. In order to repay your excellent kindness. Okay. So this is not easy to find it. Okay. Okay. So then let me read my one. I have here. So it's in order to repaying your excellent kindness, as I venerate you, please descend to my crown. Respectfully, I pay homage to you through my three doors. I confess my negative karma and rejoice. I appeal to you, turn the wheel of Dharma and not to part. And I dedicate all my root of virtue and supplicate to you remain. Respectfully, I shall always make offering. So this is actually Dharma term, that there are 7 methods, right? 7 methods to respect other. So now here talking about the respect to our guardians or the Dharma friends. So that 7 method which we use the Dharma term is totally different, but still the 7 method we can use for being harmonious and being more respect to the everyone's, right? So the 7 method here is the first method talking about the respect, right? And then second, he is like just try to give more what they like it or make them more satisfactions. Then third, change your like the bad manners, right? And then third, be a more enthusiastic to do more positive and the education and knowledge. And then always rejoice to whoever you see the knowledgeable or practitioner. And then always wish and pray that whoever the excellence in this earth, the being, be a long life. And then dedicate that your life spent for benefit self and others. This seven method, right? So it's close to seven limb that you, oh sorry, usually we know, right? But sometimes I think that seven limb not used only for Dharma. Sometimes we use in our ordinary life. Then this is the things, right? So, and within this seven, I think most important is rejoicing to others. This is the most difficult ask for to doing rejoicing to others. So rejoicing to other means the part of rejoicing that you are rejoicing to them who are happy and who are knowledgeable and then who are more benefiting to others, who being more positive and kindness. Those the object where you should rejoice. Whoever has those quality, doesn't matter whether it's your friends or not friend, or it's even you who people you don't like it. If they have a good qualities, we should rejoice, right? We should be happy with it because this is the how save this world. Then this is how save our future, right? So the kind people in this earth will save it. Therefore, if you apply this reason to be rejoice to them. So therefore, use seven method to be respect to other teachers. Then let me repeat one more time again to what is the seven method? Respecting. There are many different ways to respect, right? So respecting is not talking about that you bow down to them, right? So the respecting is sometimes we are not really respecting from our heart, but our body is bending, our smiling, or the actions of external, like right, the body and verbal actional. So it shows is very respectful, but not really from sincere hearts, right? But we shouldn't count it as a respecting others. So, but it doesn't matter what your behaviors, verbals, how you can show it, but at least you should sincerely respect to them. You should respect to them from your hearts, right? But it's really depend on what your reason and how you think and what you're viewing, what's your view, right? So therefore, if you have a good reason and you more thinking positive, then you can respect to them, whoever you can respect them more sincerely from your heart. So if that does, then the body actions and verbal actions comes naturally with it. You don't have to make it up. So right, but most of time our respect is just made it up to in like in a momently, right? So therefore, yeah. um, yes. Okay, it's good to share then. So I think when I was in the monastery after I graduated, and then they're traditionally they're respecting to seniors, and then when people come, they go to side and then just bow respecting like that, right? They do that. But I know some people, it's not do sincerely and not really accepting. I do not accept it. They're like going side or so, whatever they do, as if they not accept it, just ignore it, right? So because they're not sincerely respecting it. Therefore, doesn't matter what the body actions, right? So therefore, respect we should must from heart respect to. And then so that's just a part of respect. And then action, we don't have a one action to respect, right? Every culture, every countries have a different. Japanese very like bending their body halfway to respecting. And then Westerner, face to face, hugging, that's respecting, right? So, and then also with the Indian culture, Buddhist culture, so the respecting is some way that we lying down our body on the ground to fit their, touching their feet. There are many different ways to respecting it. So therefore, not necessary to always respect one way. But respecting people's heart should be common for every culture and every country, right? So body action doesn't matter, could be many different things, but sincerely respect it, it's important. And then next is saying to satisfied, make them satisfied. Make them satisfied. It's not necessary that you always need to gift them to some kind, give them to some kind of gift, right? It's not necessarily gift. Sometimes giving gifts, it's help to connecting each other continuously with clear mind, positive, right? So, but sometimes your respect is gift, right? It's not necessary that your good respect make them satisfying. So therefore, the friend or whoever other people make them satisfy is there are many different way. So but sometimes you have to keep up your own wish and your own uh, things, right? But we never give up our principle for respecting other, right? So let's say for example, your principal practice is the becoming compassionate, right? So then as we respect to others, as we try to satisfy to others, to wish fulfilling others, to give up your practice, no, never give up. That, the compassion practice, never give up whatever conditions, right? So sometimes people understand, sometimes people do not understand. That's not really, you have to pay attention. So whether they understand or not understand, their principal practice, you should continue. But some other things you can small give up here. So let's say I'm going outside today, right? So, and then your friends who are really supporting you, they don't want to go. Okay, then you can give up yourself to going outside. That's not a big deal, right? So this is not the principle. This is not the essence of life. So that's kind of you can separating what you should give up, what you shouldn't give up, right? So when we say give up, then you say giving up everything. That's wrong. And then give up that also it's important to keep up how much you can do it, right? So that's as we make the second parts that being more harmonious and respecting other is make them satisfactions. That's how we're talking, right? So okay, so your respect will be the make them satisfactions. And then third one is most important essence part of this seven limb practice, to changing yourself, changing your bad behaviors, bad manners, bad manners, right? So this is the most affected or cause harmful. So therefore, with respect to other is we must change ourselves, any like bad thoughts and bad behaviors. So that is, if we use the Dharma term, it's talking about the purifications, but here I use as changing yourself, right? So that is the part of really important. And then sometime if you change yourself, then it's fix everything. Satisfaction is include there, respect is include there, rejoicing is include there. All these seven ideas or seven methods are included in there, right? So therefore, I said it's the essence practice of these seven methods, right? So change yourself. Okay. And then be a more interesting, always to positive. Have more interesting on positive, right? This again needed mindfulness. Otherwise, this is depend on effort or need to sometimes work hard to get always have interesting on positive or good things, right? So it's not comes naturally. It's really depend on effort and your knowledge. So you have to change it to have those interesting. So the good quality, right? For always have to be have interested on good qualities. So, and then I always said that rejoicing to others who are knowledgeable, who are kind to us, right? And then the sixth one is, yes, actually the fifth is also is a we can ask, sometime we have a difficult to ask to people, what is this? Something you don't know, right? So but you shouldn't be kind of like a hesitate that kind of things, or because the pride is let us not ask to people. Because if I ask, then they might think I'm not knows things, and then might think I become more weakness, right? So special who's your guidance, who your teachers, who your spiritual friends, never hesitate to ask anything you have a doubt, right? So that would be more one of them to ask what is this and that, and then yeah, maybe a little bit talk on it. Even we have a difficult to ask, of course, but also we have a difficult to listening, right? So so we sometimes we don't have enough brave or enough encouragement to listening what is the realities are. We do have those kind of difficulty, right? So part of how listening that I'm not talking here. So, but you should have enough encouraged to listening everything, right? So, for example, again, maybe 2 weeks ago, we are talking to continue this chapter, and then I bring some issue that war, and then I mentioned that why we should do by like a one of side, why we should do like a one side, right? So again, I gave the example usually what I did, like a you stay in a green like a yellow light. I said you stay in a yellow light. Why we have to go to either red or green? That's not necessary. While I'm talking that, and I'm furthermore clarify and say, okay, Palestine and Israel's fightings, why we should get to the one side, either Palestine or Israel, why we? Then one guy's left. So they do not have enough encouragement to listening those, or they can ask, why are you talking this, right? They can ask me, why are you saying that? Because before I finish my reason, one guy standing up and left. So, but it's not changed to me, but I thought, okay, we don't have enough to encouragement to listening those things, right? So, because my reason is, we know one of them may be right from your viewpoint. I can give back to the Israel or Palestine. One of them may be right based on your viewpoint. So if you supporting who are right, then you are one side. Then you are the one wood firing again. They've already fired there, right? Then you're adding more wood on it because you are becoming one wood or gasoline to put fire burning, right? So that's my reason why you should do it, right? If you're in the middle, even the right or wrong there, but if you're in the middle, then you can better way to see it, you can better way to harmonize, right? So otherwise, if you always following who doing right and always ignoring or rejecting who doing wrong, then we cannot be a kindness person, or we cannot make harmonies and peace in this world. It's impossible because always people are one side, right? So if you really want to make the peaceful your life and peaceful world, we should always in the center and in the yellow light, which I'm mentioning, right? Not the one side. So because we are one side, we thinking that's is right. They're doing right, the others is doing wrong. But what you're doing at the meetings, you defeating the who doing wrong, right? You are the blaming who doing wrong. Then how you can make harmonies, how you can make peaceful? Because in this world, there are numerous fighting. One is wrong, one is right. That's always, right? So it could be both of wrong, could be both of right, or maybe one right, one wrong. This is common. Then if you follow right, who doing right, and at least your silence is good. Or if you one side, then you will blame to who doing wrong. If you blame, then you're pouring more gasoline to burn more, right? Therefore, I said stay in the center. So that guy, before he heard this reason, he left. So if you hear this reason, might be good. Almost I come to hear I was just stopping him, wait till he's listening my reason. So, but I thought it's okay, their choice. What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna mention that, it reminds me of when you're choosing a side, it's not practicing equanimity.
That's the true.
You're not
That's true.
practicing equanimity, and you're not recognizing that both sides are suffering.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever's one side may be right, depending on one right ethical views, but it doesn't mean that both sides aren't hurting, and not to mention
Very,
even if
very
one
true.
side is right or wrong.
Very
They're
true.
still creating lots of problems on either side.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
creating suffering for themselves in the future, no matter who's right.
Yeah, right.
By
Very,
putting it all.
very true. Very true. So therefore, still I'm saying that we should stay in a middle, not the one side, right? That's the better said to yourself and to world. So uh-huh.
Staying in the middle between two opposing forces, I feel like allows you to develop a little bit of compassion for both sides, because you're understanding both sides of the spectrum here. So I feel like that can kind of facilitate like this inculcation of compassion, not just from one side, but from both.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. So one side, even like one side is wrong, as you said, both are suffering. That's common things. Both are suffering and both are doing ignorantly. That's common things. That's our reason to be a more equanimity, right? So equal, have built up the equanimity mind. So this is actually, I always think it's the better save our future. But and then some people is not enough encouraged to listening. There are many suffering things, right? Because of they okay, anyhow. So yeah, so therefore we as if we need to change, then we should have enough encouragement to listening everything, right? Just listening is not that you should taking it to your personal. Just listening is not that you are happy to follow, right? So listening, there are other opinion. It could be matched with your view. It couldn't be matched. It could be make sense to you or not make sense to you. That doesn't matter, right? So we should listening first, and then the taking decision is 100% in our own hand, right? So I listen, but this is I don't like it. I listen, I like it, right? There could be many different things. So therefore, the first things is openly listening. Everything is wonderful, and um, again, I can mention some people there. It's connected to DNKL, the prayer or something in the blessing. They come to us, they love to us, but they're not joined to class because they are not willing to listening those suffering things, those reality things. So that's sad actually, especially who connect to us is we love, right? Therefore, not listening is sad because they are missing many opportunity. So therefore, if you're listening, you will learn new, different idea. So right, so otherwise, if you're not in willing to listening every like new things or difficulty things, then your life remaining as same how you grew up until your end of your life, nothing change at all. So and then if you decided I don't want to change, then that's fine, right? So otherwise, regarding your life, regarding world peace, regarding harmonies in your neighbors and this country and everything, we must change actually. But yeah, otherwise, that's their right to choice, right? So, okay, this is difficult to listening. Of course, we difficult to ask someone to, what is this? Asking question, and then more difficult to listen for that. Yeah, so I mentioned a few times, and another example. That's the one example which I remember last few class ago. So left, and then one time, that time I'm leading the meditation, the chapel teaching, right? I'm leading meditation, and again, one mothers came here. It's not children's with her, but we're talking about attachment. She asked me, can I have attached to my children? My answer was no, right? So then, since then, she never came back. But she should ask, then how I can be help? How I can be benefit to my children? How can be love to my children? How to be care my children if I do not have attachment? She should ask those questions, right? Before she asking this question, she left. Whatever. That's his yeah. This not having enough to listening because just you decided based on one simple word or based on or based on your knowledge or based on your perspective, so we always think that my own perspective is not necessarily always right. If you think that, then you're willing to listening others. So if you think my own view and my own perspective always right, then it's became of fighting. It's a cause of fighting. It's cause of like destroying other. It's cause of harm yourself and others. Because isn't it called stubborn? The stubborn, right? So stubborn, what is it? People stubborn. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. So this is the cause of fighting then. Never have peaceful. Okay, so and then last one is the last method of harmonies or respecting others here, talking the benefit to self and others, right? You dedicate and you wish, or you just do that way. Okay. So, and then continues, I'm reading here. Furthermore, Savior Adisha, those who possess the wisdom of learning, reflection, and meditation, who are truly trained in the eyes of Dharma, such excellent beings are excellent friends, and excellent friends indeed. those with the eyes of Dharma, please descend to my crown. I will venerate you as if you were my teacher. I will honor you as if you were my teacher. Though you may possess a novice mind, since you reveal the excellent awakening mind, I will supplicate to you as my teacher. Furthermore, I will meditate on my teachers as I venerate you at my crown, unwavering from kind-heartedness. Please abide these then my object of honor. This concluded the presentation of the collection of the object of honor. So this is things now. This is how we respect to others talking, right? So any question? You have any question and suggestion?
Yes, I have one question, Geshe.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I missed what you said was the sixth. I think you spoke a long time about the fifth, and then you went to the final one, and I don't think I heard what you said about the sixth of the seven.
Oh, okay.
Things.
I can repeat one more time.
Maybe I'm not the only one. Okay, yeah, thank you.
You want me to repeat it?
If you don't mind, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't mind. So I mentioned the first one is respect. Second one is make them satisfy, and then third one's change yourself, and then fourth, what we call rejoicing. Get more interest to learning. And then rejoicing is fifth, and sorry, that's accounted one. So get interesting, the more like a positive, and rejoice to them. And then the fifth is ask them to whatever you have questions to teach you. And then sixth, the pray and wish whoever kind-heartedness and the good qualities in this earth to live a long life. And then seventh, yes, that's dedicate your whatever you learn in your life for benefit self and others. This is clear?
Yes, very clear. It's just that on number six, you spoke less than the other ones. But thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is quite simple because many times we talk to benefit self and others, right? The one word I can say, be a kind. That's it. Okay, that concludes the presentation. Now so a little bit need to talk the second point in this chapter, which is how you seeing other sentient beings. After you rely on someone, after you found a good guidance in your life, and then respectful with the 7 methods, then what you do is doing practice of compassion, right? So, or generate the kindness, kind mind. So, but here I'm not reading all this line by line. I can brief that first ones. It talks about the knowing the suffering of general samsara, right? It talks as the general samsara suffering of samsara, and then second few lines talks about individual that suffering of the lower realms, include animal beings, and then third few lines talks that suffering of the human beings. And then follows talks that therefore all these the mother sentient beings, he said that use this kind of words, mother sentient being, I have here. Yeah, I do not have here. So, so the way you see teacher and president. Okay. Oh. Even if I look my parents who are delusions, readings, okay. Alas, there's here. Even within the so-called happiness of the high. Happiness of higher realms, the body then born. Okay, these are talking about the suffering of, as I mentioned, suffering of general samsara, suffering of lower realms, rebirth, suffering of human life. Okay, I'm going to read from here now. So everyone is our parents, children's, nephews, and nieces. We don't regard the other as such an instead, what called? Assail them. Can you bear this broad nature? Reflect on this, drum. Do not waver you from your recognitions of the abdomen as parents, as children's, and as grandchildren's, and lead them with love. Is there any fault in doing so, Atisha? Attend to the well, O wish and compassionate one. Grant your blessing, perilous Dharma things. Okay. So this is now, after you knowing all this suffering, then what you need to do is you need to generate compassion to others. This is the essence practice. So, but before you generate compassion, you get close your mind to every single sentient beings. And this is the one method, you seeing them as your parents, you seeing them as your children's, you seeing them as your nephews and nieces are the method that your mind is getting more close to them. Your mind is willing to more love to them, right? But it's difficult to explain who do not accept the future life to saying to everyone, my parents, children, nephew, and nieces. But some point we can see that way, even we're not talking the next life and previous life, right? So this life, just one reason is we all connected each other, right? So now this time the people use the DNA, what called? And then you found your brother and sister in France, Europe, Asia. This is how we connected, right? So this is one reason we can apply to getting close to them, because the example is our mind very much, we very much care who we love, right? So we have a very much like an empathy to who we love. We see that. Why? Because you see them as close to you, therefore you love. How close, getting close, there are many reasons, right? In general, in majority in this world, our relatives, the wood, my brother, sister, my parents, or mine, right? That makes you close. And then when it's getting close, then you're willing to love to them. It naturally comes, effortlessly comes love to them, because the word that my children's, right? So therefore, using that method to apply for all sentient beings, think as my children, because you are easy, effortlessly, you can share your love to your children because it's very close to you. Same way, if you see all sentient beings as your children, then you will become more close to them, then effortlessly comes those compassion and kindness. That's method, and then this method is not just as I'm mentioning here. It's not that just making up. just not making up, right? There was some reason to think that way. My children's, my parents, right? So my children is not necessarily the biological children's, right? So some people adapt it, and then they think it's my children. They have the same close to them as if you have real children, right? So and then it's very much depend on how you viewing it, how you think it. Shantideva said, actually, this body is not mine, right? But when you grow up, think it's mine. Since then, you very much carrying your body, right? So why is not mine? Because this body belongs to my parents. Their sperms to get more bigger. But yes, how we get bigger? We eat, we exercise, we eat medicine. This is the one reason to growth. But the nature of essence or substantial cause of this body is the parents, right? So actually, therefore, that actually belongs to them. But when we add it, it's my body, then we can completely make separate to them. That right? So this is giving example. It's really how you to think it. Even you are not yours, but when you think it's strongly mine, then you will care very much as your body. So as adopt children, as like between, like say, the priests think all these followers are children's, right? The priest as father is a term. So, but the children is giving birth is not necessarily, again, the biological, right? So giving birth means like who support you grow up. That could be your parents or their children's, right? Who you support to them to grow up. That's, and who you giving them more knowledge. That one way to the birth, right? So the birth, the body is not only who gives you more knowledge, who gives you more support, and then who you help to them to establish their aim. All this you give birth, right? So that's you counted children. This just term, right? So, and then go back to the one reasons we all connected. If you check it, the DNA, you said DNA, right? Yeah. So we all connected. So therefore, these are the good reasons. It's just not making up. So then think these good reasons are to getting more close to them, accepting those are my relatives, right? Whether you keep the terms sister or brother or not, whether you keep terms children or not, accept it is connected to me. It's my relative, right? So that makes you close to them. Then you are willing to share your love. You will care to them. And so you might have a less self-centeredness when you sharing your love to others, right? So this is the talking here. And then continues, since we cannot afford to be separate from you, please nurture me until samsara is emptied for the sake of all my parents. Now, when I see all sentient beings, this is the way I will lead them, thinking of them as parents, children, or siblings. So these conclude the section on how one should care for them. So there are a lot of lines, but I just read the few lines, which is it's kind of the briefing or a summary of those lines, right? So the bottom line is talking about general compassion or be kind to others, to thinking those are. Okay. So, any other question? Need to drop off. Thanks so much you are teaching. Okay. Okay, so there's so many beautiful there's but it's many things are associated with Buddhist terms and Buddhist practice. Yeah, I shared this page with both Tibetan and English in our group, the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, open discussion. What do you think? Will we talk, right? How to listening, how to rely on your guidance, what are the methods, and after that you generate compassion, be kind to others. These are we talk today.
It really does work. I use one of those, as far as regarding with parents, or especially, I use another one. I use that as my motivation to practice sometimes. Like, you know, this is, it works in day-to-day life too, but like when I'm feeling like maybe, you know, a little lazy that day, you know, why am I, you know, maybe I should do a little extra, or maybe I shouldn't. Like, the reason I can make myself do a little extra is viewing like the beings in the lower realms as my mothers. It's like, can I really leave them there? Like, do I believe this? And I was like, you know, for me, I really do. So it's, can I really leave them in that state? And if viewing them like over and over every day, reinforcing that they're my mothers and, you know, they're going through that, like, you know, it helps give an extra push sometimes when I'm like, oh, maybe it'd be nice to do something else, like, you know, that wasn't this today, because I did plenty of time, you know. But it does work. I mean,
yeah,
I
wonderful.
wasn't doing this, I wasn't looking at it that way at all 6 months ago, and, you know, in just that short amount of time, it's like flip-flops, like the way I look at things. So
that's
it
wonderful.
works.
That's wonderful. Yeah, definitely. So there are no question, am I help to my parents? There are no question regarding in general or regarding Buddhism. There are no question. Of course, we should, but time, skill, everything needed at the time, right? So as you said, yes, sometimes lazy that disturb us to continuous practice. But on the other hand, it's important to know actually while we do practice, right? And we try to overcome by laziness, and then we just work very hard, never rest. That's wrong, actually. We should rest. That's important part. How much you if you take rest, that give you more energy, right? So otherwise you continues doing it, work very hard, and you tired, not see any result in the moment, then if you will, it's danger that you will give up forever. That's most danger. That's very danger. So therefore, as a practitioner, always guiding us, we should take rest, right? Because look at our condition of body and mind, need a rest. So the sleeping is one kind of rest, that's true. But you know, while you are meditating or practicing, take breath, then move forward, right? So yeah, that's important.
Kind of on that note too about, you know, feeling a little bit lazy when it comes to demonstrating compassion, having to take breaks. I've noticed especially with family members that I have that are harder to get along with than others are, I almost get like this like compassion fatigue, where I'm trying to demonstrate to this person how much I love them, how much compassion I do have for them, but without any result from that. Like they're still the same angry, I don't want to say horrible person, but just angry, like difficult people, and I feel like I'm trying to give this person all the compassion that I have, but it gets a little exhausting, if I'm not gonna lie, because
I understand.
I pour so much into it, but still don't have that kind of that happiness between us.
So because most of the time what we do is go with the expectation, that sometimes discourage to us because it's not happening what we wish it, right? So therefore, the Buddhist here guiding is whatever you do, practice without expectations, right? So the reason is not that I want to be more staying together, then they should listen to me. Is that shouldn't reason.
Right.
If you being kind to other, reason is only they are suffering. Right?
I
So
think that's what I get caught up on too, because like by demonstrating compassion, because like for my father, for example, he's a very, very angry, miserable person.
except my father.
Yeah. So we have that connection. And I'm trying like just to make him happier, trying to demonstrate my love and compassion for him, but like as much as I try, he's still the same angry, miserable person.
Yeah, when I was young, actually I grew up in monastery, right? The whole entire year, and we are staying in monastery. But the 1 or 2 months we go to see our parents every year. And then when I go to see my father, yes, he's very, very angry person. And then when he like give us hard time or give me like a some kind of difficulty, at the moment really I cannot think. I get more angry and hesitating, so on, many things there, right? But after I come back to monastery and in thinking again for all A to Z, right? It's not just one point what he did bad for me. The thinking like he helped me a lot. So all this come together, then my all this view is changing it. Then next year go back, same problem. Then when I come back to monastery, I'm rethinking it again. It's changed. Doing this 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and 30 years, 40 years is big change even in the movement. When I go with there, and then he doing same things, but my perspective is changed because first time. Second time, not really change. Third time, keep thinking after I come back monastery, right? Thinking again and again. It's a lot of help.
Yeah.
That's the help me to change my perspective. So then when I go there, then not that much problem. But still difficulty, but not that much problem. So then he passed away, right? Otherwise, then I see I will be becoming better and better with him. I don't expect his anger to change it, right? Because tried many times, many way, not ready for that. Of course, the parents not that much listening to children, right? Because who you are younger than me. You have a less experience. We do have more experience. Then let me do what I want to do it. So that's therefore very difficult to change them. But try me in a different way, but I did not expect it that reduce his anger and change his anger. But I keep hope.
Right. So it's almost like demonstrate compassion. Just keep demonstrating. I mean, and right, that kind of if you remove the expectation, you kind of remove the frustration.
Yeah. So, but I always keep hope. I see this a little bit different, the keeping hope and keeping expectations. So expectation has to be with that way. Hope means open. Right? I keep hope his anger should reduce because torturing to him, clearly see that. And then it's affect to us. So therefore, that's just how help to my life. I think it's for all of us same, right? So every time we have to think from all view. So A to Z, good or bad, everything we think it. Then we might find sometimes more help than 2 months there. 2 months every day is not showing anger. Every day is not making it difficult, right? Sometimes he cooks, sometimes he picking a restaurant. So yeah, there's so many nice things. In overall, more benefit to us. Supporting while we are studying in the monastery every time, descending something and to keep filled to house and also and so on. So overall, it's a lot of benefit, but the movement emotion is hard. But compare these two, more benefit. So therefore, I should accept his hard time.
Right.
Yeah, this is how it goes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Geshe-la, I have a question, or
sure.
just reflecting on the teaching. So, when we think of sentient beings as parent, child, or grandchild, but since we're, we have afflictions, we have attachment towards those beings. I was just wondering why it's not, just treat them, for example, like our teacher, because we have more. I'm thinking I would have more equanimity towards my teacher, less attachment, more respect, less aversion. So I'm just thinking that won't that cause me more affliction, and not help me towards my path and cultivating equanimity? Just
Yeah, so definitely you can think as teacher. These are just one of the method. This is not the requirements or necessary things to getting close to others, right? So one of the method to thinking children or parents. So if you help more to thinking they as your teacher, 100% is fine. Definitely we should do that then, right? Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. And it's also one practical, yes. So if the teacher, whether is not necessary to teach you directly, right? So indirectly, there we learn many things from others. So those are also concerning as teacher. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So so one thing I'm going to repeat here again, as I mentioned, okay, listening completely, right? In the center, living is kind of like a set. So the part of the encouragement that you always willing to ask question, whatever comes in your mind, right? So that's we should do it. And then here, whatever you can't ask question, there are no problem with us, right? Whether good or bad, or sometimes we feel, oh, if I ask question that it might be cause blame to teacher, it might be cause blame to their religious, or it might be criticizing to their behavior, their teaching. Don't think at all these things. Whatever questions comes in your mind, it just expresses. So and then I'm 100%, not 99% sure that I will not have anger. Because yeah, this is we want it, that what your thoughts, we want to hear that what your thoughts clearly and completely. So that will be more help us to easy how to talk to you guys, right? And so yeah, ask question openly, even criticizing religious, welcome to ask question, right? You are not really directly to criticizing, but sometimes way to ask question, it can be the criticize. Even you directly criticize from your open mind, you welcome. But if you criticize, there's anything with your anger, then that the one person I not accept it. Because you are not sincerely asking question. You are just asking question as a teasing, right? Or like a real criticizing. If you ask question with the open mind, you really have a doubt, then definitely 100% you can ask that question, yeah. Because the other things, if you ask a question with this anger, the person is not ready for listening answer, because just they said it, right? So, and then this question, no reason to ask question. It's just throwing their words. because there are no reason to give answer. We are not ready for listening, right? So that's therefore I'm saying it. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, then if you do not have any question and discussion, I'm going to stop here. Still we have a time if you have it. Otherwise, I'm going to stop here. Oh, okay. Any question? Your first time here?
Last year, we did like an hour away.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can think of one question, Geshe, since we
Yeah,
have
sure.
time, if you don't
Sure.
mind.
Yeah.
That is with this concern of asking questions. Sometimes I find that if I do not ask questions, I'm a better listener. I just listen. And I don't even think, oh, I don't understand. I just listen. And sometimes I think if I have a lot of burning questions, I'm quite incapable of listening or learning because my mind is so active. Oh, I have so many questions I have to ask him, you know. I'm just wondering what you think about that because I know you always say, oh, you should ask questions. But I'm just wondering if sometimes asking questions harms our ability to learn. I remember once you said the Dalai Lama said something. He said, when my mouth is open, I'm not listening. So I just ask you generally that maybe you have some ideas about that because you were a student so long.
I do not see contradictory between like becoming good listener and asking question. So good listener will be asked question actually, right? So, but here while we continues talking in the time for teaching, right? We were talking here, and the middle, if you interrupt, it could be the problem. But whatever question is hold it, then once comes the question actions and answer sessions, then you should ask. So that's not contradictory.
Oh, thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
That same idea, when a lot of the teachings, I'll come up with a question
Uh-huh.
halfway through the teaching, you think about it, you miss,
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
should I, because I keep reformulating the question.
No.
Should I forget the question and maybe it's answered?
If you keep repeating your question, then it disturbs your continuous listening, right? Because it's distracted. What we're doing is we take notes. Whatever questions comes in mind, take notes and hold it. If you cannot hold by your mind, then you can hold on book. So, and then times comes, you will not forget it because short line will remind you all your questions, right? One, not have to write everything like, okay, point, write it. So that point reminds you that all questions, and then you can ask. Yeah. Otherwise, if you keep thinking my question, try to not forgetting it, then it disturbs to you. Because continuous listening, right? It distracted you. Yeah. Yeah, people worry that. Therefore, whatever comes, they immediately ask. Sometimes they don't know they're disturbing here. So yeah, so they have a method, idea. Try to not forget it. Yeah. Okay. That's it.